I'm Ellie. I'm an occupational therapist at the Learning Disability team in Coleridge Road. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a really nice summer recipe that's really simple and really tasty. We are going to make a lemon cheesecake, and I think it will be really delicious. So I'll talk you through the ingredients that we need first. First of all, it's a lemon cheesecake, so no surprise, we need 2 lemons. It's really important that they're the proper lemons, not like just the juice. We need to use the skin of the lemon as well. So 2 lemons there to start with. And because it's a cheesecake, no surprise, we also need cheese. This is cream cheese, and you can use any brand that you like, it doesn't matter. But these are 2 200-gram tubs. So 400 grams of cream cheese in total. We also need, for the base, some biscuits. We're only going to use about half the pack of these biscuits. And you can use any type of biscuits you like. I just like Hoplobs. And we need a bit of butter to keep those biscuits together. So this is 75 grams of butter. We need a little bit of icing sugar that will be mixed with the lemon and the cream cheese. So that's 50 grams there of icing sugar. And finally, a little bit extravagant, but we need a little splash of double cream. I'll just get one of the small pots like this, and we will use not very much of it, but depending on how it turns out, we might use a bit more, we might use a bit less. You don't need very much to actually cook them in, so if you've got a little pan like this is a very trusty pan, it's got a few scratches on it. This is the type of pan where you can push it up out the bottom. That makes it really easy because when it comes time to take your cheesecake out, you can just kind of pop it out. But it doesn't matter if you don't have one of those. You can use absolutely anything. I've made cheesecakes before in these kind of glass bowls, which you might have for the oven. Or if you've got a few little dishes like this, like the ones that puddings sometimes come in, you can make lots of little cheesecakes instead. You can even put them in just normal mugs, glasses, anything. It's super simple to make, so we don't want you having to run out and buy loads of fancy bits of pots and pans. Anything that sort of small and circular like that, absolutely fine. So I'll give you a minute to get all your ingredients together. Just to remind you, we've got 2 lemons, 2 packs of cream cheese, half a pack of biscuits. We've got some double cream, icing sugar, and 75 grams of butter. So I'll give you a second to get all of those together. Okay, I hope you've got all your ingredients together. We're going to start baking. But the first thing that we're going to do, which is really important, obviously, is to wash our hands. Now I've washed my hands already because my sink's the other side of this computer. But what I'm also going to do is put on some gloves because I wear nail polish a lot and I don't want my nail polish getting in my nice cheesecake and ruining the colour and, more importantly, ruining the taste. I don't think my nail polish will taste very nice. So if you've got nail polish on, I'd recommend you put gloves on too. But we also want to wash our hands. And as you know, we should spend about 20 minutes washing our hands. 20 minutes, what am I saying? 20 seconds washing our hands. So I'm going to rock out to some Nirvana for 20 seconds and put my gloves on whilst you guys go wash your hands. Okay, there we go. Now I've got my gloves on. I hope that you guys have washed your hands and that we're ready to go. Okay, so let's gather all our ingredients together and get baking. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to grate the skin of our lemons to make lemon rind. So we're going to put them all into a big bowl. I just use this big saucepan, I always use it. when I'm baking because it's so deep that it's difficult to spill things. So we're going to get our first lemon and a grater. You want one with the little holes in. Some of them might have a special attachment for doing lemons, and they're even smaller holes, and that's great if you've got that, but I don't have one of those, so just the little holes is fine. What we're going to do is going to hold in one hand the grater, in one hand the lemon, and just rub it down slowly. Now this can be a bit difficult, and if you're finding it hard, you can always ask for someone's help with this. I wish I had someone else to hold this, but I don't. So you can see all the lemons coming through there. So you can make sure that all goes in the pot. And you'll know you're done grating on each bit when you can see white underneath the yellow. So what we want is to make it so this whole lemon just looks white, not yellow. And get all the yellow bits off. So you see we've got all white there, but there's still some yellow bits on here. So I'm going to have a go at grinding up all these lemons, grating them up, and I hope that you guys are having better luck than me at home with this. Okay, so done both my lemons now. Got these nice white looking lemons, and in there you can see all the lemon zest. I know it doesn't look like very much for the amount of effort that you would have put in grating them, but I promise that is the hardest part. And it doesn't look like lots, but it gives so much flavour to the cheesecake. Now, we're still going to use the rest of these lemons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each lemon in half. And you might want someone to help you with this. Just get a nice sharp knife, cut the lemons in half. And then what I'm going to do is squeeze out the juice from the lemon. Now you can use a special lemon juicer for this, where you rub it on the top of the juicer, but I find it just as easy to just squeeze the lemon with my hands and get the juice out. And if you see any seeds get in, you can just pick them out with a spoon, because we don't want the seeds. They'll be a bit crunchy and they're not as tasty as the rest of the lemon. So we're going to squeeze those lemons in. See, you've got a nice lemon juice. Ooh. Lemon juice going in there. Now I can see some seeds already, so I'm just going to pick them out because we don't want seeds in. There you go. So that's one lemon, all in, lovely. And two lemons. I'm going to see if I can do these with one hand each, but I am not very coordinated, which I know some of you struggle with too. I'm dyspraxic, which means that I sometimes find it really difficult to do things that require lots of coordination like this. I sometimes get my left and right mixed up too, but luckily when we're baking it doesn't really matter whether you're talking about your left or your right, it all goes in the same. So I've got all my lemon juice in there, but do you know what, I've got loads of pips in there, so I'm just going to make sure to take the pips out. That's 3 pips and 4. There's more pips than lemon in this. And there's all my pips out. So now we've got a nice bit of lemon juice in there along with our lemon rind. You might be able to hear me clattering and banging out here. What I've got is just a cup of water that I rinse my spoon off in between each bit so that I can keep using the same cutlery. It's not going to get dirty. So we've got our lemon and we've got our juice in there. Next thing is we're going to put both of these tubs of cream cheese straight in. They're just going straight in the big mixing bowl there. So there's one lot of cream cheese in there, and we're going to crack open the other one and put that one in too. Now, you might have noticed there's quite a lot of cream cheese going in here, so you might want to get the lower fat version if you can, or just eat this in nice small portions, which is easier said than done, I know. So now we've got both things of cream cheese in there, with the lemon and with the rind. Delicious. And what we're going to do is we're also going to put our icing sugar in here. So almost everything goes in topping, almost all of our ingredients. And we're going to put, we've got the icing sugar in, we're going to put a little splash of double cream. Literally just about that much, because we can always add more later. Doesn't need to be perfect right now. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to use a fork to mix all of this together. If you have a whisk, you can use that. Some of you might even have an electric whisk, and you can use that, but a fork works perfectly well. So we're going to just mix this all up together until we get a nice, smooth and light mixture that's going to go on top of our cheesecake. So we just want to keep beating it together, just like this. Very easy, we're just moving it around in a big circle and just trying to get some air into it as well. Now, I'll show you mine. Is a little bit runny for me. This is probably okay, but I just want a little bit more thickness to it. So I'm going to put in a tiny bit of more icing sugar. That will just give it a little bit of thickness. And I'm going to mix that in. Lovely. That's someone ringing me there. That's the danger of making these videos in real time. So we've got this lovely thick cream cheese and lemon and sugar mix that's going to go on the top. Now I'm just going to add a little bit more double cream to this, because sometimes when we whip it in, it can puff up, it gives a bit more air, which makes it really tasty. But this is just me not being happy with what I've made, but what I had at the very start when I showed you was perfectly fine. I'm just being a perfectionist, and you don't have to do that. Remember, this is going in the fridge anyway, so it's going to really thicken up once we do that. So can you see there how thick that is? It's not running off the spoon at all. It's taking a really long time to drop down. That's about what we want. So there is part of our cheesecake. That's going to be the topping. We're just going to put that to one side for the moment, and then we're going to use the biscuits and the butter to make a nice base for it. So I'll just give you a chance to wash your hands in between those. Okay, so hope you had a chance to wash your hands in between doing the topping and making the base, because it's really important. For this one, we're using half the packet of biscuits. So you can see there's only half the packet left there, and I'll put the rest in my big mixing bowl, a different mixing bowl than what you used for the topping. So I've put them in this nice glass bowl. So we've got half our biscuits in there, and all we're going to do with these, it's really fun, is we just get them in our hands and scrunch them up until we get these nice fine crumbs coming out of them. You can do this in a food processor if you like. Some people don't like how the biscuits feel, and that's okay. But either way, we want some nice thin crumbs there at the end. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to do that. Okay, so now you should have crumbled up all of the biscuits. So you've got this nice fine biscuit powder here at the bottom. And you should be able to put it through your fingers almost like sand. Doesn't matter if you've got some big bits in it, it's really no problem. As long as most of it can go through your fingers like that, that's okay. Now what we're going to do, we're just going to take the butter that we had earlier, and we're just going to mix that in to this biscuit crumb here. You probably want to wash your hands again, because the easiest way to get this together is just to mush it up with your hands. So I want you to make sure that your hands are really, really clean before you do this. And what we're going to do, just going to pop the butter into the dish there with the biscuit crumbs. And what I'm going to do is just mix it together with my hands, because remember, this butter should be really nice and soft. And we're just going to push that in, and it will start to stick together. And that's really important, because when it sticks together, it means that we can put it in the fridge and chill it, and it will stick together when we eat it. Otherwise, we'll just have loads of biscuit crumbs going everywhere, which we don't want. If you find that it's not all sticking together, so you see like mine, some bits are, but there's still quite a lot of biscuit dust in there, you can just put a bit more butter in and just keep going until it all sticks together. And this will take a couple of minutes, just doing it like this. So I will let you get on with that. Okay, so by now you should have got the butter really well mixed in with the biscuit crumbs. And let me show you what it should look like. It doesn't all have to be one big lump, but what you should be able to do is, if you grab a bit of the mixture and squeeze it in your hand, you should be able to make it into a little ball that keeps its shape. And that's important, because we're going to need to fit it into our tin. So I'm going to take the tin that I showed you earlier, just this nice little cake tin that pops out there at the bottom, because I find it easiest. But remember, you can also use your little tubs as well, and you can make lots of little cheesecakes. It's really up to you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pan here, and we're going to get some nice big handfuls of this digestive mix, and we're going to spread it out over the bottom of the pan. And then what we need to do is push down nice and hard on it. Push until it covers the whole base, the whole bottom of that tin. And you can't be too firm, really. So just keep pushing down until you've got a nice solid biscuit bottom there for your cheesecake. And I'll show you it's exactly the same if you want to do it in a little cup. You just pop it in like that, and you're just pressing down until you've got a nice firm base there for your cheesecake to go on top. See, nice and firm. I'm just going to make sure that we've got all the biscuit on the base. There's no point in wasting good biscuit. Lovely. So that's really nice and solid on there. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that lovely, fluffy and solid cheesecake topping that we made earlier. And what I'm going to do is just get a big spoon like this, get a big spoonful of that, and all we do is just pop it on like this. Yeah, we're just spreading it out. No need to rush. We just want to spread this topping out so that it covers all of the biscuit. So I'll let you put your topping on your biscuit. Okay, hope that you've got that all spread out. So this is what it should look like at the end. Now you can see mine's not very neat, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter because it's all going to go down the same way. It'll all be delicious. So once you've got it like that, that's almost everything done. The only thing that we're going to do now is we're going to put that in the fridge and let it chill for about an hour. And then we'll see what it looks like when it's done. It'll be ready to eat. Let's hope it looks good. Hello again. So it's been sitting in the fridge for an hour. I've taken it out and ooh, beautiful cheesecake. Now, I know it's not the cleanest looking cheesecake in the world. It's not neat and tidy, but it tastes absolutely delicious. So I'm really going to enjoy having some of that after my dinner tonight. Let me know how you get on with your baking. I hope it goes really well, and I really look forward to seeing you guys soon in person, hopefully. As soon as the offices reopen, we'll let you know. But until then, carry on watching these videos at home and take care of yourselves. Bye.